precision, brute force, sheer will. In the blink of an eye, fate changes and one fighter is consecrated while another falls.
Oh my goodness! No judges needed tonight!
In the universe of the UFC, only the strongest, fastest, and most skilled survive.
That's gonna do it!
Each move can define a career, and each blow can be the last. These moments are not just blows, because each knockout is a mix of surgical precision that left an indelible mark in the history of combat.
The high kick was beautiful! Oh my goodness, the high kicks!
Get ready for the action, excitement, and pure energy of the 20 most unforgettable knockouts in the UFC.
Oh, the lead!
1. Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. It's amazing how a well-executed strategy can change the course of a fight. This rematch between Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier at UFC 291 was epic. In their first fight in 2018, Poirier had defeated Gaethje by technical knockout in the 4th round after an intense battle up to that point. But this time, the rematch was destined to be a different story. Gaethje arrived with a more tactical and strategic approach. Both fighters started with a lot of energy, measuring their distances and throwing punches and kicks.
Gaethje said it would be hard for Poirier to be...
Gaethje, despite landing fewer blows,
Poirier just misses on the uppercut there.
landed the most important one by launching a perfectly disguised kick to the head that left Poirier unconscious just a minute into the 2nd round.
Oh my gosh, he does it! He does not...
2. Conor McGregor versus José Aldo. This fight is remembered as one of the most iconic in the history of mixed martial arts due to its duration, only 13 seconds. The fighters began the fight very quickly, but McGregor immediately took the initiative.
The southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the champion.
Conor McGregor defeated José Aldo with a left blow that landed squarely on Aldo's jaw. Aldo fell to the ground, knocking him unconscious instantly, giving McGregor the title of UFC featherweight champion.
Smiling. Oh! He slapped him!
This punch was so fast and accurate that McGregor became the fastest champion in UFC history.
The new UFC featherweight champion of the world! Oh, unbelievable!
3. Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. At UFC 300, both fighters came to the octagon with the intention of showing why they are considered 2 of the best in their respective categories. Both fighters, they began cautiously, measuring their distance and throwing punches.
Forced him to change stances. That left leg is destroyed.
Holloway showed patience and precision with his punches,
Nice jab to the body by Max. Another.
while Gaethje responded with his characteristic style of tough boxer. In the final seconds of the final round, Holloway unleashed a combination of punches that culminated with a powerful right hand that left Gaethje unconscious, earning the symbolic title of BMF with this impressive knockout. This fight was one of the most explosive and memorable in UFC history, highlighting the skill and endurance of both fighters.
Oh, big connection late!
For Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling. UFC 292 featured a long-awaited bantamweight championship fight. Sean O'Malley, skilled at finishing fights in spectacular fashion, faced Aljamain Sterling, the defending champion, famous for his grappling technique. Both fighters came into this fight with high expectations and the promise of delivering a memorable match. After a first round filled with takedown attempts by Sterling, O'Malley successfully defended and
Early, nicely done.
remained calm. Just 51 seconds into the 2nd round, O'Malley found his opportunity and landed a powerful right hand that left Sterling unconscious.
Sterling unable.
The fight was stopped immediately, and Sean O'Malley was declared the winner by technical knockout, becoming the new UFC bantamweight champion.
Sterling unable.
5. Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem. Francis Ngannou, known for his impressive knockout power, faced Alistair Overeem, a veteran, former heavyweight champion. Both entered the octagon ready to leave it all in the cage and demonstrate their supremacy in the heavyweight division. The fight ended with a spectacular ending. Overeem attempted to quickly attack Ngannou, but Ngannou countered with a powerful left uppercut that knocked Overeem out just 1 minute and 42 seconds into the first round.
Got to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem.
Overeem fell to the ground, and Ngannou landed one more blow before the referee intervened.
A matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem.
This victory was Ngannou's 6th in a row in the UFC and earned him his first shot at the heavyweight title.
Has arrived.
Whoa!
6. Michael Bisping contra Luke Rockhold. Michael Bisping proved that you should never underestimate a determined fighter, despite being seen as a gatekeeper. Bisping seized his opportunity and showed great tenacity and skill against middleweight champion Luke Rockhold on short notice in UFC 199. This fight was a rematch, as Rockhold had previously defeated Bisping in November 2014. When the fight began, Bisping used clever lateral movement to avoid getting tangled in lock exchanges.
Great kicks that we've seen so often early.
He's getting Bisping, by Rockhold.
Minutes later, he landed a huge left hook that staggered Rockhold. Bisping finished the job, knocking out the champion in the first round to win the UFC middleweight championship. This victory was historic as Bisping became the first English middleweight champion in UFC history.
Michael Bisping is the new UFC middleweight champion.
7. Holly Holm contra Ronda Rousey at UFC 193 was not only one of the biggest surprises in mixed martial arts, but also demonstrated the unpredictability and excitement that characterizes this sport. Holly Holm faced Ronda Rousey, the undefeated and dominant UFC bantamweight champion, with her elite judo and signature armbar that quickly took down all rivals. Holly Holm was expected to be another victim, but despite being seen as an underrated challenger, Holm maintained impeccable strategy throughout the match. She torched Rousey with heavy blows, keeping her at bay.
As Holly continues to move, beautiful. There's that straight left again.
This is boxer kickboxer.
In the second round, she landed a head kick that knocked out Rousey. Rousey fell to the canvas, and a couple of hammer blows later, Holm was the new champion, thus winning the UFC bantamweight title.
Beautiful.
She's in trouble.
She's hurt.
This victory is considered one of the biggest upsets in the history of mixed martial arts. Holm went from being an underrated challenger to becoming UFC champion in one unforgettable night.
Artist Ronda judoka.
She's hurt.
Is in trouble.
She's hurt.
Holly looking to finish.
She's out.
Holly Holm.
8. Michael Chandler contra Tony Ferguson. This matchup brought together two top contenders, known for their tenacity and skills in the octagon. Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson at UFC 274. Tony Ferguson showed off his trademark aggression, pressuring Chandler with a variety of strikes.
By Justin Gaethje, he'd be taking elbow.
Oh, big right.
Chandler, known for his explosiveness and power, stayed calm and counterattacked with precision, although he was cut with elbows from below.
Chandler looking to land bombs here.
In the first round, both fighters exchanged significant blows, showing their respective strengths. The moment came in the second round when Michael Chandler attacked with one of the most brutal front kicks in MMA history that connected directly to Ferguson's jaw. This blow not only knocked Ferguson down, but also knocked him unconscious, resulting in a knockout victory for Chandler. This spectacular finish was considered one of the best of the night and demonstrated Chandler's skill and power.
Honestly,
9. Jorge Masvidal vs. Ben Askren at UFC 239 was a historic moment in mixed martial arts. This fight was highly anticipated and did not disappoint due to the rivalry between both fighters and Askren's reputation as an undefeated fighter, and ended with one of the fastest knockouts in UFC history. From the beginning of the fight, Jorge Masvidal surprised everyone with his bold strategy. At the bell, Masvidal ran towards Askren and delivered a flying knee that connected directly with Askren's head. In just 5 seconds, Askren fell to the ground, knocked out, and Masvidal secured the victory by knockout. Not only was this punch one of the fastest in UFC history, but it also became the fastest knockout ever recorded in the promotion. The precise execution and speed of Masvidal's attack left the audience and commentators in awe.
Clock is brought to you by Modelo. One of the greatest knockouts you've ever seen.
10. Kamaru Usman vs. Jorge Masvidal. This fight was a rematch, as Usman had previously defeated Masvidal at UFC 251. The rematch took place approximately a year later at UFC 261. The fight began with both fighters exchanging blows and studying their moves, but Usman showed his superiority with his aggressiveness and technical skills.
Oh, and he just got stung.
Nice right hand.
In the second round, Usman landed a devastating blow with his right hand that dropped Masvidal. Although Masvidal attempted to come back, Usman continued his attack and ultimately finished the fight with additional punches, securing a TKO victory.
All the superlatives. Usman with a huge shot.
This victory allowed Usman to defend his UFC welterweight title for the 4th time.
Usman with a huge shot. Still undisputed.
11. Israel Adesanya vs. Alex Pereira. At UFC 287, the long-awaited rematch between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira took place. Both fighters met again in a middleweight bout, generating great expectations among fans due to their first meeting at UFC 281, where Pereira had defeated Adesanya. In the first round, Pereira set the pace, pushing Adesanya against the cage and appearing to have the advantage.
The distance.
Oh, jab to the body and a right hand up top.
Oh my goodness.
But the decisive moment came in the second round, when Adesanya managed to land a right hook that dropped Pereira. Seizing the opportunity, Adesanya followed up with a series of precise strikes that forced the referee to stop the fight, resulting in a knockout victory for Adesanya, regaining the UFC middleweight title.
So dangerous.
Counter right from Adesanya. Pineda down and out.
12. Leon Edwards vs. Kamaru Usman. Known as the best head kick knockout in MMA history, at UFC 278, Edwards was looking to regain the UFC welterweight title he had lost to Usman in their first matchup. Usman was a dominant force, seeking his 6th consecutive title defense and 16th consecutive victory in the UFC. Kamaru Usman demonstrated his superiority with his aggressiveness and fighting skills. While Edwards tried to maintain distance and land precise blows, the decisive moment came in the 5th round. Edwards, who was behind on the judges' scorecards, feinted and followed it up with a head kick so perfect it completely froze Usman. The champion collapsed to the canvas and his reign ended.
¿Qué tan grande es su ambición?
13. Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica. This fight was for the flyweight title at UFC 238. This impressive knockout is remembered as one of the best moments in UFC history and highlighted Shevchenko as one of the best fighters in the world. Valentina Shevchenko demonstrated her technical superiority and complete control of the octagon, kept eye on the defensive throughout the first round.
Two big kicks to the body. And there's a third one.
In the second round, Valentina launched a devastating head kick that landed squarely, knocking Jessica unconscious and securing a knockout victory, and was awarded the Performance of the Night award due to her flawless execution and dramatic impact of the knockout.
Oh, head kick.
14. Joaquin Buckley versus Impa Kasanganay. UFC Fight Night became an iconic moment due to the impressive knockout of Buckley, who faced Impa Kasanganay in a middleweight fight that left an indelible mark on fans and the internet. Both fighters exchanged attacks with intensity and technique, showing a balanced battle in the first moments.
It looks like the white of the eye bloodshot as well.
Nice trim kick.
One of the very first closing punch of the night.
The climax of the fight came in the second round. During an exchange of blows, Buckley launched a spinning kick with his right leg that landed squarely on Kasanganay's head. This spectacular and precise movement left Kasanganay unconscious instantly, falling to the ground in a dramatic manner.
Even on total strikes at the moment.
15. Corey Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. This fight underlines the unpredictability and drama that makes this sport so exciting. There is not much to analyze about the fight, since it barely lasted. Corey Sandhagen and Frankie Edgar, they circled for about 20 seconds.
About Frankie Edgar, he doesn't leave his head settled. It's always moving with his legs. We always say hands and feet move at the same time.
The decisive moment came in the first round when Sandhagen threw a flying knee that connected squarely with Frankie Edgar's head. This blow was so precise and powerful that it left Edgar unconscious instantly.
Frankie moves everything at the same time. Body's moving, feet's moving.
Oh my goodness! Flying knee!
16. Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochaska. Alex Pereira became a two-division champion and was unstoppable, and at UFC 303 against Yuri Prochaska was proof of that. This fight was a rematch for the UFC light heavyweight title. Pereira was dominating from the start and dropped Prochaska with his trademark left hook right at the bell of the first round.
He won the first round last.
In the second round, Pereira launched a devastating head kick that landed squarely on Prochaska, leaving him staggering. Seizing the opportunity, Pereira followed up with a series of punches that led to the fight being stopped by the referee, resulting in a technical knockout victory for Pereira.
Alex Pereira with an early head kick, round two of the fight, and still.
17. Anthony Pettis contra Stephen Thompson. Anthony Pettis' victory over Stephen Thompson at UFC Fight Night was a moment that highlighted Pettis' creativity, skill, and power as a fighter. Anthony Pettis decided to move up to the welterweight ranks, making his debut against Stephen Thompson. Thompson dominated from the start with his distance control, constantly keeping Pettis against the
It looks like the white of the eye bloodshot as well.
Nice trim kick.
One of the very first closing punch of the night.
In the second round, Pettis landed a perfect Superman right hand that landed squarely on Thompson's head, knocking him unconscious on the spot. This blow was not only spectacular for its precision, but also for the speed with which it was executed. Pettis won the Performance of the Night award for this impressive knockout.
Reigns on top of the MMA world!
Stop the fight.
18. Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski. This fight at UFC 308 was for the featherweight title. Ilia Topuria, who swept everyone, managed to earn a title shot against Alexander Volkanovski. As the octagon door closed, Topuria stepped up in a high-stakes first round. Volkanovski, known for his excellent cardio, took the first round thanks to a ton of body kicks.
Power advantage.
The decisive point of the fight came in the second round. During an exchange in the center of the octagon, Topuria launched a combination of punches that culminated in a devastating right hook that landed squarely on Volkanovski's head and knocked him unconscious.
Shots. He got Volkanovski. That'll do it, and new.
19. Alex Pereira against Jamal Hill. Alex Pereira faced Jamal Hill at UFC 300. On the night of the fight, Pereira, known for his powerful punch, tried to keep the distance with kicks and strong punches. Hill refused to participate for a few minutes in the first round, but looked to close out space and utilize his hand-to-hand fighting skills.
The switch.
That lead.
The climax of the bout came when he floored Hill with his notorious left hook just seconds later, before finishing the job with punches and hammers. Ruthless.
Continue. Please, get out of here.
20. Ilia Topuria against Max Holloway. One of the most exciting and recent knockouts that absolutely shocked the entire UFC world. Ilia Topuria was defending her title against experienced former champion Max Holloway at UFC 308. The fight was close from the start, with both fighters landing some solid punches.
Tremendous jab and that right.
In the third round, during an exchange in the center of the octagon, Topuria threw a combination of punches and landed his notoriously heavy left hand on Max, tripping him up. He then followed up with more pressure, resulting in a knockout victory for Topuria. It was a historic moment that highlighted Topuria's skill and power as a fighter.
This dude at 145.
My God, dude.
Every time.
These knockouts are more than just fight endings. They are not only remembered for their visual impact, they are remembered as symbols of determination, skill, and imminent unpredictability that makes the UFC such a captivating and exciting spectacle. If you would like to see more impressive knockouts from the UFC, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss the next stories and fights. See you in the next video.